Hi, this is Shantae coming to you from Manch on Fire. Tonight I'm in the studio with John Clough.
Correct.
He is a promoter. He's here to talk a little bit about his promotions, work he's done in the past, and future endeavors.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, it kind of started about 2005 when Hurricane Katrina ripped through. New Orleans. The owner of a previous limousine company decided that he was going to get himself involved with the Red Cross and help these folks out. So he had me look up the James Montgomery Band and call them and got in touch with them, and we did a wonderful show at a restaurant in Saugus called The Cure for Katrina. And a kind of little funny story, I spent, God, must have been 3 months putting up a poster of James Montgomery. Spotted him a few times, a couple of his events, and didn't stick around very long. Just, overworked a little bit. So, popped in, supported the event, and, did my thing. And I'd walked up to one of the guitarists there, 14-year-old kid from Salem, Massachusetts, named Eric Reardon. Says, "Hi, Eric," and this gentleman with spiky hair and a suit looks at me and says, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "Good." He says, "I see you at a few of my shows," and I looked him dead in the eye and said, "Who are you?" He says, "I'm James Montgomery," and I went, "Nice." I won't tell you what I told him to call me, but, and we've clicked from there, and it's been a lot of fun to work with James, and it's been an honor and a privilege to do stuff with this man. He has his own charity foundation called the Debbie Blue Foundation, which is a great support for musicians that, when they're sick and if they can't afford it, doctors are there to help out, take care of them. Kind of as they take care of us, lift our spirits, and, get out there for the night, stuff like that. I do a lot of limousine work. So in the limousine world, I tend to play chauffeur for James when he has people like that I've helped out with an event at the House of Blues, for example. We've driven Brad Whitford, Johnny A., James Belushi, and it was a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun doing this stuff.
So that's some of the previous events. Is there anyone in particular that sticks out in your head that?
Oh, the first event that I actually put on myself with James was at the Salem Waterfront Hotel in Salem. It was incredible. James had put it on his website, and the phone started ringing and never stopped. We sold tickets daily in large sums, and to the point where people were banging at the door to get tickets. It was incredible. I've never seen anything like it. As a matter of fact, it's kind of interesting that the phone started ringing about 6 o'clock the morning of the event for tickets. And I think I broke my cell phone about 2 o'clock in the morning when I finally realized I couldn't turn it off, and then still people were calling for tickets thinking the show was the next day. So it was an incredible event, a lot of fun. The band was smoking hot. James had the tendency to hit this one note, and it takes your very soul and just blows it away. He's just that good. So he's absolutely incredible. That harmonica is I can't even begin to explain it. If you haven't experienced it, you really have to. You have to come out. It's jamesmontgomery.com. Find him online. Check him out. He's all over the place. Really, seriously, you can't find not only a better human being, but in my personal opinion, which he may say otherwise, but a better harp player, a better band. It's just incredible, the stuff that he does to help out. I mean, the Toys for Tots Foundation, the stuff that we have been trying to do. He does a lot of stuff with the the biker organizations. They do rides for the Cancer Foundation and a lot of things like that. And James is right there to support them, and that's just incredible, giving up his time to do all that. Really, really impressive.
So we do have James here on the line. Do you want to bring him on now, or did you have a little bit more that you wanted to add?
Absolutely, let's bring him on.
James, are you still there?
Yeah, I am. How are you? And tell John I see he got the check I sent him in the mail to say all those things about me.
Yeah, but it bounced.
It's been fun working with John. He was kind of came from out of nowhere, and I'm assuming promoter. He's not like these promoters who are like, all jive and all, everything he said he's pulled off. It's been great working with him. And I'm actually bringing my band down to Millie's in Manchester, New Hampshire, this Friday, the 10th. The Friday the 9th, excuse me. And we're really looking forward to that. I'm bringing in David Hall, who played bass with Aerosmith in the year 2006 and 2009. And is always a member of the Joe Perry Project, and my guitar player plays with Steven Tyler's solo band, and also the Blues Brothers with Dan Aykroyd and Jim Belushi, and then my drummer Seth Pappas plays with Barons Whitfield and the Savage. So it's a really hot band, and part of the series at Millie's is we're going to feature a New Hampshire artist, and this Friday we're really proud to be presenting Brooks Young, who's like a really young talent in New Hampshire. He's getting ready to take off. B.B. King has already taken him under his wing, so it's going to be a tremendous blues show at Millie's Tavern on Commercial Street in Manchester. And we're trying to kick off a series, so we hope that everyone supports it, because we're trying to make sure that we bring national entertainment into Manchester on a regular basis.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Now, if someone wanted to purchase a ticket, do they purchase them in advance, or is it come at the door and pay? Or?
Yeah, they do sell them in advance. I think it's info@milliestavern.com. And it's only $10. At first I think it was going to be 10 in advance at 12 at the door. I'm not sure if they've changed it or not. But for that show, obviously, my band plays all over the world. We're getting ready to go to Portugal and with Barons Whitfield, and last summer my band was at Billy Squire and the Jay Gallus horn section of James Cotton, and I just got back from Florida where I had a band where I put a band together with Robin Zander from Cheap Trick, Skunk Baxter from the Doobie Brothers and Steely Dan, and then we had two of the original members of the group Boston, and we had Rick Derringer, and we had the bass player who has played with Aerosmith and Joe Perry, and it was a big band. So for $10 to see this band with our very special guest Brooks Young, who's really going to be one of New Hampshire's biggest artists. You'll get a chance to see him early in his career. It's going to be a great show at Millie's.
So with the new artists coming up, is this something that you plan on kicking off throughout the tour, like every time you're touring?
What we're going to do is we're going to try and get into Millie's on a regular basis, every 4 to 6 weeks. And every time we come in there, we're going to, feature my band, which is really one of the best bands in the country right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a New Hampshire artist with us on each one of the shows, so that we can kind of show the people in New Hampshire what great talent they have right in their own state.
Now, how would someone that wanted to participate in something like that, how would they be able to get involved?
Well, they could send an email to Millie's at info@milliestavern.com, or they could just send me an email directly at mail@jamesmontgomery.com, and we'd love to. I talked to Mike Whithouse at the Hippo Press, and he's got some suggestions as well. So each time we play there, we will feature a New Hampshire artist. So we're really happy about that.
Now, is it typical for you to be in the New England region, or I know you're traveling to Portugal.
My band is based out of Boston, so, but like I say, we do travel all over. We just got back from Florida
Okay, great. Now, do you have a website as well for the James Montgomery Band?
Yes, it's just, and it took me years to come up with this. It's jamesmontgomery.com.
How many years did that take?
It took me years to think of a name for a website, and I finally said, well, jamesmontgomery.com, but no. But actually, it's been up and running for a while, and it should have it'll definitely have the Millie's date up there. And I think they're putting up, well, all the March dates are up, and then they're putting up the April and May dates tonight and tomorrow.
Okay, great. That sounds like a lot of information. John, is there something you wanted to say to James?
Well, James, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you do for the community, and it really is a lot of fun working with you, and I enjoy it. And you know,
We
this.
do have a ball, and it's like I say, for $10, you can't see a bigger show than the one we're going to put on in Manchester at Millie's Tavern.
Okay, well, I look forward to seeing you next week then, or this Friday. I guess I'm going to have to stay up just to see you, huh? Okay, I have to go to work tired then. I get it.
There you go. And Ted, thank you very much for having me on your show. I really appreciate it very, very much.
Well, thank you for coming on, and we might possibly see you on Friday as well. We don't have anything on the agenda.
You are definitely going to see us on Friday as well. You have to come.
Okay, we'll make it a point to come.
Yeah, excellent, because I look forward to meeting you.
Okay, thank you so much for calling in.
No, thanks for having me, and I hope to see a lot of New Hampshire fans, blues fans down there. We're trying to bring national blues acts back to Manchester. I hope it works out.
Thank you. I hope it works out as well.
Great. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye, you guys.
Bye-bye.
Good night, James. So, that was more than interesting.
Yes, it was.
And like James says, I do my very, very best. That when I say something, I want to make sure that it comes to tuition. So, folks, really seriously, be looking at James's website, because honestly, you never know what surprises we have in store. You never know who's just going to pop up out of the blue.
Seems like he does have an all-star lineup, and he runs with several different bands.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's humbled in the list, because the list is, as I was telling you about the Salem Waterfront Hotel. Another funny story about that, I know what I listened to when I was growing up. And it wasn't the group Boston, at least not that I knew until I heard More Than a Feeling for Real in person. So that's how I realized who they were. But woman called me to buy some tickets, said her name was Mrs. Gaudreau. And I says, why does that name sound familiar? Couldn't think for the life of me why it sounded familiar. And so we're in the conference room in the hotel, and we're having dinner. And who walks in but Barry from the group Boston.
Wow.
So I sold tickets to them, and he winds up on stage with James Montgomery playing for the night. And you know what's funny, Barry? If you ever see this, at some point in time, I still have you $50. Try answering your email at barrygaudreau.com. But, I mean, I've met so many celebrities, so many people, and the best part about it is meeting them through James. They're human. They're
Right.
not jerks.
Right.
One of my favorite people. Oh, maybe we can get to call in one day when we're talking about more blues stuff for a future event, is Mr. James Cotton. Mr. Cotton has a very funny story about the day he met Muddy Waters. So he's up on stage and he's playing at this nightclub, and this guy walks up to him and says, hey, I like the way you play. Come play at my nightclub. We'll pay you for the gig tomorrow night. So Cotton looks at him and says, sure, but who are you? The guy says, I'm Muddy Waters. And the Cotton looks right at him and for all you politically correct people out there, and no offense to anybody who's religious, says to him, if you're Muddy Waters, then I'm Jesus Christ. Now that to me was the funniest thing I've ever heard. And of course, the next night, Cotton's up on stage, he walks in, he's playing, gets paid for playing, he's up there, he's playing his gig. And out from the back, all dressed up with the lights shining and flashing and flickering, out comes Muddy Waters. So after Cotton was off stage that day, I goes over to him, I says, I have a question for you. And he says, what's that? And I says, God forgive me. But if the Bible says, blessed are those who have believed and who have not seen, and yet you just told me you're Jesus Christ, that means I'm automatically going to hell because I can see you? So at this point, we have been friends ever since. And him and his wife are phenomenal people. He is a phenomenal harp player. I honestly have yet to see his full band together in the years that I've known him, which I think has been 2, 3. Forgive me, I'm not sure the exact amount of time, although I don't know what I had for breakfast this morning, so that doesn't help any. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this a long time, six years now. We haven't pulled off a ton of events, but what we say we do. So, folks, I welcome you. Please come down to Millie's Tavern. Come down and enjoy the show. I mean, he will send you for a whirl that is incredible. If you haven't seen the blues or you think you don't like it, don't judge it till you see it. Because I'm telling you, I didn't like it myself until I saw it. Couldn't stand the blues. The thrill was gone long before I ever heard it. And the truth be known, I saw James at, I got to tell you, I saw him at a little bar in Rhode Island with John Lincoln Wright. And he's the father of country music. He played with Hank, somebody, I think Williams Aaron, something like that. Sorry, forgive me, not 100% on that. But the man was phenomenal, and James hit that note that I was talking about the first time there. I was sitting in the front, but I swear I felt my whole body just shift to the back of the room. I don't know what it is, but it was incredible. And I'm going to leave you with one more funny story.
Okay.
The Boston Harbor Hotel about 2 years ago. James is down on the pier and he's walking around and he's playing to the crowd. And he puts the harp to his lips, and just as he put the harp to his lips, the ferry blew the foghorn. And he says, now if I could do that, I was impressed. I says, geez, James, you've been practicing that for a long time.
Right?
So James is really, really, really an incredible person. And he's either the grandson or the great-grandson, just for all you history buffs out there, of Field Marshal Bernard Montgomery, World War II Field Marshal. So, well-connected. Well, the circle of life comes around, and great human being all around. And I guess you can look for us in the future, because we're going to be looking for you.
That's a great way to end. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And if you're not able to make this upcoming Friday, be on the lookout on Millie's website for upcoming shows featuring James Montgomery.
And don't forget, jamesmontgomery.com.
Always, 24/7.
That's it.
Ready to go on stage, and I'm here on Manch on Fire, and believe me, it is on fire. Yes, sir. Hey everybody, Brooks Young here with James Montgomery here at Millie's here in Manchester. Having a great show here, and thank you for watching. Thank you. We got a new CD coming out in the late spring. We got a new CD coming out in the late spring. We got Johnny Winter on the CD with us. Johnny Winter. My boyhood friend and closest friend in show business, my teacher, James Cotton, is on the CD with us. James Cotton. From the Rolling Stones band and the J. Gals band, we have the horn section from the Rolling Stones and the J. Gals band. The Uptown Horns are on the CD. From Aerosmith, we have Joey Kramer and Brad Whitford on the CD with us. And from the rap group Run DMC, we got DMC on the CD rapping about Get This Song. And then here's a song we wrote for my boss for 4 years. I was in the Johnny Winter Band for 4 years. It's going out to my boss, Johnny Winter. Check it out. We wrote it for him.
Just couldn't find little Johnny on the slide guitar. Before people 12 people stealing the show, they were playing little Johnny on the radio. With a snare picking, really raised the ball. Cause you just couldn't top little Johnny on the slide guitar. Come on, George, give it up! Cause you just couldn't tie little Johnny on the slide guitar. Ooh, little Johnny. Ooh, little Johnny.